Yes.
Bruce Schulte,
Yes.
Mike Tariana,
No.
Paulette Simpson. Paulette,
Yes.
Pete Higgins.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Paulette. Pete Higgins
Yeah.
and Sandy Doyle.
Yes.
Thank you. We're tallying the votes.
They've got it.
The yeses have it, and so we will proceed with the motion that's on the floor. And could we have a restating of the motion, and then we'll pick up any discussion on the motion?
Was it my motion?
I think we have clarification from Julie Gillette.
Steve Straight motion to dismiss all charges, and I've got a second from Rex Shattuck. So
In the
at
matter
this
of Randy
time-
Riedrich.
In the matter of Randy Riedrich, to dismiss all charges. So a yes vote would be to dismiss them, a no vote would be to not dismiss them. Are we going
Madam Chairman?
Discussion on the motion, please.
Yeah.
Madam Chairman?
Yes, I believe that's Mr. Seekins speaking.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chairman. This is Ralph Seekins, National Committee Man. It is my contention that since Mr. Riedrich is no longer an official of the Alaska Republican Party and is only a member of the Republican Party, that it would be improper for us to bring any kind of an action against him at this particular time. Had it been heard prior to Thursday night at midnight, but at this point in time, because of his having no official standing in the party other than being a member, and is not a member of the SEC, I believe it would be improper for us to proceed with any kind of action against him in this matter.
A point of information, he actually
Alice.
does have a vote on the SEC as the past chairman.
On the SEC,
The
Central.
SEC.
Central. SC is in Central Committee.
But he's not elected to that position. He has that position by virtue of having previously held office.
So we would need to...
Madam Chair, Mike Tarianen.
Mr. Tarianen?
Yeah, it's not clear to me if what action has been requested. There is a complaint filed, but it doesn't seem that we're asking to remove him from office. So there could be a censure, and he is the immediate past chair. So perhaps it would be legitimate to have some action. I don't know what action. There's nothing that I can find so far that is being requested. So I think that it's premature to dismiss
Well,
because he is past chairman, that he is no longer the chair.
Okay, Mike, I would like to just say that it's my perspective that the hearing process would have clarified that. However, and then the executive committee in its function would take the information gained from that and then come up with their recommended response to what they've learned from the hearing process. And so I don't believe that, well, I won't speak for the for Ms. Renee Wall, but I don't believe that there was a specific action recommended. But I believe it, but I could be completely wrong about that. We have.
Madam Chair, can I speak to the motion?
Not at this time. We have Mr. Schulte who is in queue, so I will put Rex. I'll put you in queue.
I was just sort of amplifying a couple of comments that have come from Ralph and from Rex. I mean, it's true that had these charges been heard prior to the end of the day Thursday, there would have been some sanction available to us up to and including removal from office. Mr. Riedrich holds a committee vote on the Central Committee now only by virtue of the fact that he previously held elected office. So even the most dramatic sanction available to us is no longer available to us. There's nothing, there's no positive value to the party to be gained from this. I mean, there's really, it's a moot point. I think we're spinning our wheels, and I don't see any point in even going there.
Okay, and also we have Rex waiting online, but Rex, I would like to just insert just a comment here. Ms. Renee Wall has answers to these questions. Just, I don't think it's like a part of her defense, but she was just wanting, she's here and she could actually, but except for, we have not had Mr. Root, at this point in the hearing, which is kind of awkward for us because we're not exactly proceeding with the hearing. Had we proceeded with the hearing, each would have had their opportunity to explain a few things. So this is why we're sort of like in this little spot here, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it. So I think Renee, we'll have to wait. Rex, would you have the floor, please, right now?
Sure, thank you, Madam Chair. I think we probably find ourselves in this position, maybe not with intent, but it's probably a wise thing that once that individual who's been the chair becomes the recent past chair and is a central committee member, think of every single chair we've had since I've been in, which goes back to the 80s, and every one of them at some point in time has really bothered me on something they've done, and no doubt, Debbie, you will too. And so I think it's a something to consider that, being able to file charges against a recent chair and even having the opportunity to sanction them probably is counterproductive to our organization as a whole. So that's kind of why I'm of the mind to sort of pass on these charges at this point.
Thank you for those remarks, Rex. Thank you. We have, if you haven't spoken on this matter, please be thinking if you have anything to say right now. We have Steve straight up, and then we'll go back to the or anyone else.
Speaking to the motion, Madam Chair, and to the body, just looking at the ARP rules, that's our groundwork here. We're all working the same rules. Article 10, the heading is removal from Republican Party office. The first sentence says, Section 1, grounds for removal. The first sentence, any person, including elected ARP office, my eyes are terrible here. Any person holding elected ARP office may be removed from office for any of the following reasons, and there's A through E. The point I'd like to point out that this man, Mr. Riederich, is not even eligible for any sanctions or removal from office, according to our Article 10 rules. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve, for
I
those
concur with
remarks.
Mr.
Madam
Seekins.
Chair, Mike Noriani.
All right, thank you, Mike. You're speaking to the motion now, so thank you for bringing that forward. Go ahead.
Okay, I don't think that there's a motion or an effort to remove him from office. At least I didn't see that in the complaint. And we knew last Thursday evening, when we were all in session, that Mr. Riederich would not be chairman today. And Mrs. Wall has made the effort to come to Anchorage. We could have, if this is going to be our decision, we should have done that on Thursday. But now we've had her come to Anchorage, all of us show up for this meeting or call in. So I think at least Ms. Wall should have the opportunity to make a presentation and perhaps a recommendation for some action. I'm not speaking in favor of any action, but I think by just dumping it all at this point and say all is passed is not appropriate. Because I don't think she is asking for a removal from office.
Thank you, Mike, for that. And we have, we do have Alice. Alice and then Peter. Well, Alice has given due deference to you, Mr. Goldman. So Goldberg. Sorry.
First of all, the last paragraph of Ms. Wall's letter does specifically ask for removal from office. I read it this morning. Not everyone is pleased, well, probably no one is totally pleased with what Mr. Riederich has done over the last, how many years? 13 years. I think we can all find things, including me, that I'm not totally happy with that man. On the other hand, after 13 years of service, and given that the last paragraph says remove him from an office that he doesn't have, if anything, we should be talking about a letter of commendation and some kind of award. We shouldn't be talking about beating a man after he served us for 13 years. Yeah, he's stepped on a few toes. but by and large, he's carried this party for 13 years. I'd rather shake his hand than kick him out the door with my foot.
Thank you for those remarks.
Well said.
Anyone else wishing to speak at this time before we vote? Alice, yes, was in queue.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw out for consideration that these charges were accepted to be heard while he was still serving as chairman, and his seat on the SEC is due to the fact that he was elected to the office of chairman. Just want to throw that out for consideration.
Thank you for those remarks. Yes, sir?
Here.
Wait, one moment, please. The first speaker was a gentleman, I believe.
Yeah, this is Representative Higgins. I
Yes.
appreciate the discussion, but I call the question.
Second, Steve Straight, seconds.
We have had
Did
a
you
call.
second that, Steve?
We've got a call for the question. We will be voting on whether or not we will proceed with further discussion. So this motion is a call for the question, meaning we will cease debate if it passes. Let's have a roll call quickly. Thank you.
And to clarify, a yes vote means that all the charges will be dismissed.
No, this is just to call the question to bring the motion to
Right on.
A yes vote will bring the motion to the floor,
To the floor to vote on
and
it.
it needs a 2/3 vote.
Yeah.
All right,
We're ready for the roll call on this call for the question. Thank you.
Debbie Brown,
Yes.
Ralph Seekins,
Yes.
Debbie Joslin, Alice Loika,
No.
You're killing me, Debbie.
Frank McQuarrie,
Yes.
Rex Shattuck,
Yes, and I really feel bad for Debbie.
Peter Goldberg,
Yes.
Steve Straight,
Yes.
Bruce Schulte,
Yes.
Mike Tarianen,
Yes.
Paulette Simpson,
Yes.
Pete Higgins,
Yes.
Sandy Doyle.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Very well. We're proceeding straight forward on to the motion at hand. Could we have a rereading of the motion just to bring everybody perfectly up to speed here?
Okay, the motion was made by Steve Straight and seconded by Rex Shattuck to dismiss all charges against Randy Friedrich, submitted by Renee Walls. So,
Very well. Roll call vote on the motion. If everyone, is there any last minute further discussion? I doubt it. We're going forward. You're right. Thank you. Onward for the vote. Roll call, please.
y'all have changed my process here, going back and forth. Debbie Brown,
Yes.
Ralph Seekins,
Yes.
Debbie Joslin, Alice Loika,
No.
Frank McQuarrie,
Yes.
Rex Shattuck,
Yes.
Peter Goldberg,
Yes.
Steve Straight,
Yes.
Bruce Schulte,
Yes.
Mike Tarianen,
Yes.
Paulette Simpson,
Yes.
Pete Higgins,
Yes.
Sandy Doyle.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Very well. We have reached the end of our agenda. And unless there are other important matters or announcements regarding any forthcoming matter, seeing none.
Can I make an announcement?
Okay, Rex. Very well. You have the floor.
I know most people online or there in the room will probably be in Juneau for the next SCC meeting, and I would like to encourage them, just speaking as a staffer down here now, to remind people that are coming down, contact your representative, your senator, go and visit them. We're on the 5th floor. You're welcome to stop by and say hi to us, and we look forward to seeing everybody down there.
But I don't like Harriet Drummond.
Excellent. And I would like to just we're concluding this meeting so that everyone may enjoy Super Bowl weekend and other
Chair, we
activities.
set a time for the April meeting, a time and date and place, or will we do that at the Central Committee meeting?
I would ask, given the circumstances of my lack of really the calendar at this point, I would ask for you to wait until, let's make that announcement in Juneau. And thank you all very much for your participation in all of these proceedings these last many days. And have a great weekend, and we'll see you all in Juneau, hopefully.
Madam Chair.
The meeting is now,
All right,
Mr. Straight.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I was just going to call for a motion to adjourn, but I'm going to wait on that.
I will move to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Straight. Any objection? Motion is accepted and we are adjourned. Thank you.
I'm gonna go to the ladies' room.